Hello, everyone, and welcome to our monthly Winner Box tournament here at Grey Ogre Games. My name is Mick. I'm one of your hosts. I'm your host for today. Anyway, you're watching the monthly Winner Box tournament, and this round, or this 6 rounds, are going to be sealed. So yeah, gotta enjoy it. If you love that limited action like I do, you're gonna enjoy this tournament. Here we're watching the match here between Tim Robs and here we go. Tim Robs and Yu Hang Yao. Yu Hang, I think. Yi Hang. Oh man, I'm trying to do a few things at the same time. I guess I'll do that later. Okay, so Ihang here looks like he's playing a black-white vampires deck. Able to drop an Adanto Vanguard as well as the 1/3 flyer on the battlefield. I forget what's the name. I need to look all these cards up. But Tim looks like he's playing a ostensibly mono blue, but probably has. Sorry, it's a blue green, not mono blue. Those forests look like they are islands, which is why I like those forests too. But here gets a Master of the Streams, I think, and here we go. There we go. Sorry, Herald of Secret Streams. That's the card. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters can't be blocked. And here drops a. Well, these are lot of card names that you have to remember for these cards. Enters the battlefield. What's his name? Sailor of Means for 3 mana. It's a 1/4. No, this is not Sailor of Means. This is not Sailor of Memes. This is the 5 mana guy. Enters the battlefield and then you get 2 treasure tokens. Prosperous Pirates. That's the one. Prosperous Pirates. It's a 3/4. Let me bring it up. There we go. Prosperous Pirates, when it enters for 5 mana, when it enters the battlefield, choose create 2 colorless treasure artifact tokens. With the tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana color to your mana pool. And looks like, wow, Yihang here has been able to drop a mark of something. The one that gives it lifelink +2/+2 and lifelink onto the Adanto Vanguard, which means that every time it attacks, it's going to be a 5/5 +3. Sorry, going to be 6/1, 6/3, and you can pay 4 life, and it gains lifelink. Mark of the Vampire, that's the one. +2/+2 and a lifelink. Okay, Tim on the other side of the table drops a. Wow, okay. Yeah, that's the end of the game, I think. Tim here also has a Tishana, a Voice of Thunder, but doesn't really matter because Yihang here has just a more aggressive deck, a violently more aggressive deck, and this game is over in less than 5 minutes. And that's really fast. That is crazy fast. So man, Tim looks like he's not gonna sideboard in anything. Has nothing to sideboard. I think. Well, we didn't see a lot of removal from Tim's side. You know, just bounce spells or even simple creatures that +1/+, that give +1/+1 counters. But Yi-Hang here, on the other hand, very, very strong out the gates. Able to drop the Adanto Vanguard, on turn 2 with the Skyblade of the Legion and 2 Skyblades of the Legions with the Mark of the Vampire, and becomes a very strong combination of cards to take down Tim. So let's see, going into round 2. Let's put up the score here. There we go. Score now is a 0-1 to Yi-Hang, or 1-0 to Yi-Hang. Yeah, sealed is another beast, I think. But the sealed in Ixalan is very interesting, because even if you're low on removal, it can still be, you can still push out and do quite well. So yeah. All right. If you're just joining us, you're watching the monthly winner box here at Grey Ogre Games. My name is Mick. I'm your host for today. And watching match here between Tim Robs and Yao Yi-Hang. And it's a sealed tournament. So sealed is, well, we don't have any deck archetypes. And of course, it's only, six Ixalan boosters. But that can be the game is very wide, and again, there's a lot of decks that you can build. But generally, I think sealed is a bit faster. I don't think there's a very good control deck in the sealed format for Ixalan. Well, but we'll see. Tim here with, okay, he's got lands, he's got spells. That's all great and good, and he goes first and passes the turn. Daring Saboteur is a nice follow-up play from Tim. Let me bring up Daring Saboteur. Or is it Daring Sleuth? No, Daring Saboteur. That's it. Turn 2. Daring Saboteur is a 2-mana 2/1. It's a rare, so this card is pretty good. For 3 mana, you can give it the ability that it cannot be blocked, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card, and if you do, discard a card. So it's got that looting effect, all wrapped up in it. But Yi-Hang here able to put a Skyblade of the Legion onto the battlefield, so it's a 1/3. And if Tim here wants to attack, he will have to sacrifice, his turn. Tishana's Wanderer, I believe that's what the card is called. Also hits the battlefield. Yeah, Tishana's Wanderer is a 3-mana. Let me. Oh, come on, Tishana's. Sorry, not Wanderer. Tishana's Wayfinder, 3 mana for 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, it explores. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the explore mechanic, you reveal the top card of your library, and then put. If it's a land, you put it in your hand. Otherwise, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then you decide whether you want to put it back on the top of on your library, or you put it into the graveyard. So if it's a non-creature spell that you don't want, you can put it into the graveyard. Otherwise, you're drawing a card. So essentially, Explore kind of draws you maybe half a card, draws you a land for sure, and is able to mill away stuff that you don't really want. And it gives Tishana, Tim here gives Tishana the flying, and finally punches in for 3 points of damage, whereas Yi-Hang here, he's got the Ruthless Knave, I believe. That's what the card is called. Let me bring that up for you. There we go. Ruthless Knave. 3 mana for 3/2. The Daring Saboteur can easily trade for the Ruthless Knave, but Ruthless Knave has a really cool ability where you can pay 3 mana and sacrifice a creature. It creates 2 colorless treasure tokens, and then you can sacrifice 3 of the treasures and you draw a card. Pretty good, huh? But Yihang here able to give both his guys flying with the Arrow Saw and beats in with the Ruthless Knave for 5 points of damage, bringing Tim down to 5. River Herald's Boon, maybe. Nope. Okay, gonna go with another Explore creature. And I don't think this is very useful at all right now. Yes, he decides to mill it away, and now he has a 1/4 blocker for anything on the ground. And I believe Tim here should attack. Maybe attack. No, he decides to pass the turn. Okay, so go on the defense with his Tishana's Wayfinder, especially with a River Herald's Boon in his hand, which will enable him to grow one of his creatures, as well as one of his merfolks. There we go. River Herald's Boon. For 2 mana, it's an instant speed. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target merfolk. So pretty good stuff, I would say. Yihang here lacking 1 mana. Wow, he's got green in his deck. Okay, I just realized that he put down some green stuff. Okay, Hammer Skull hits the battlefield, and when Hammer Skull attacks, he gets to tap down a creature, and he'll probably use it to tap down the flyer. And Tim there decided not to fire off the River Herald's Boon just yet. And he's gonna attack him with the Daring Saboteur to draw some cards. So draws and needs to discard a card. I think what does get discarded? Okay, so it's the vanilla merfolk 2/5. What's its name? What is its name? Hitwater Sentry is 4 mana for a 2/5 merfolk, and that's it. Not very useful outside. Not very useful unless you have. Well, unless you're having like blocking problems, which I don't see Tim having, or if you have a Deep Root Waters, which will allow him to generate a 1/1 hexproof merfolk. So Yihang here just digging a little bit, trying to figure out, okay, how do I attack with this. He does have the Aerodactyl, I believe, in his hand. And yeah, Yihang here needs to be a little bit careful, else might get blown out by the wow, okay, so swings in with the team, taps down Tishana's Wayfinder. How much damage is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 points of damage. Tim here can negate some of that damage, and he's probably going to fire off that River Herald's Boon right now, and I think he should. There we go, River Herald's Boon. He's going to give 1 counter to Tishana's Wayfinder and 1 counter to the what is this guy's name? Ixali's Keeper? No, it's not Ixali's Keeper. Just my knowledge of the limited format for this season is really bad. Ixali's Diviner, not Ixali's Keeper. So Ixali's Diviner here gets rid of the Ruthless Knave, which Yihang here just sacrifices itself to generate 2 treasure tokens. I'm curious what's the follow-up. Okay, so another Sky Blade of the Legion. Tim here drops down to 9. No danger of dying just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's going to take 7 damage next turn. Does he choose to go for it though? He might want to try to set up the win for the next turn. He's got River Herald. What's that? River Sneak, which is, well, I can bring it up onto the screen. River Sneak, not River Snake. River Snake is a totally different thing. River Sneak can't be blocked whenever another Merfolk enters the battlefield under your control. River Sneak gets +1/+1 until end of turn. A very powerful card, but you know, there's a few things in its way. Tim trying to figure out, okay, so how do I get, you know, he's not dying next turn. How do I get my opponent down to you know, X amount of life within this turn? So let's see. Is there a combat trick? No, there's no combat trick. I think he's, well, if he has the opt, I think he should use the opt right now. Didn't use it. Okay, chart a course. Gonna draw him 3 extra cards. Or 2 extra cards, sorry. And looks like he might just cast the Jade Guardian here. I think the River Sneak is a better option. Or the, okay. So the Jade Guardian here comes down as a 3/3 hexproof, which means that he can trade off with the with the Hammer Skull. And on Yihang's side, Yihang, wow, is that a Planeswalker? Yeah. Alright, so that's why you splash the green for. He'll probably want to get rid of the Tishana's Wayfinder, which is a 4/4 flying right now. It's dealing him a lot of damage. Being just general pest, I suppose. Or Yihang could just make more guys. This is why you splash green with black. Alright, decides to swing in with all the flyers. That's 5 points of damage, bring him down to 4. Okay, an Aerodactyl. Okay, and Tim here needs to figure out, okay, how do I get you from this to 0? And I think he does have the answer. He does have, does he have the guy that taps down all the guys? We saw it last game. I'm not sure if it's in his hand. The Tempest Caller. Is that in his hand? No, it doesn't. That is not a Tempest Caller. Instead, what card is that? That is the where are we? The one that's unblockable, 3/2 unblockable. There, Storm Sculptor, and that's it. Okay, and that ends the game. You know, Tim, no outs to his thing. He had exactly lethal. In fact, with the Storms, sorry, if the Storm Sculptor was indeed the Tempest Caller, but Tim extends the hand, and there's the game. 20 minutes in. This is really fast. I think the sealed format in this, you know, the sealed format in Ixalan is interesting. It's definitely interesting. All right. We are going to go for a break. We'll be back in about 30 minutes, and I'll put on a replay while we're waiting. Because we don't have a second, well, we do have a second camera, it's just we're not using it right now. So yeah, we'll be back shortly, but remember, you can catch us on the stream. Usually the stream's on a weekday night. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays if you like Final Fantasy. We also do Final Fantasy on Fridays. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays we got standard and modern, and sometimes on the weekends like this we have tournaments too. If you miss those tournaments, you can go on down to youtube.com/GreyOgreGames. Yeah, you can catch the stream on twitch.tv/GreyOgreGames, or on Facebook. Just subscribe to wherever you think is cool and you'd like to watch. And yeah, go on down youtube.com/GreyOgreGames. And if you want to find out more about the invitationals, GreyOgreGames.com. Last but not least, do listen to our partners, the Power9 Podcast at power9podcast.com. All right. We are heading out for a while. Don't go away. We'll be right back.